The crystalline spires of Zenthar Prime gleamed under the triple suns, a monument to the Galactic Council's thousand-year reign. Within the Grand Chamber, representatives from 63 species debated matters of trade, territory, and treaties. But today, the atmosphere carried an unusual tension. Elder Meraxian, a being whose species had witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations for millennia, raised one of his 12 tentacles for silence. His voice, translated through neural implants into every language present, carried a weight of dread. "They approach," he said simply. "The humans are coming." Ambassador Thelkun of the Voridian Empire, a reptilian species known for their military prowess, hissed with amusement. "The humans, those primitives from the outer spiral, they possess barely 50 worlds. Their technology is centuries behind ours." "You misunderstand," Meraxian's ancient eyes darkened. "I do not speak of their strength, I speak of their memory." Jiggy Martinez stood on the bridge of the UNSC Retribution, her fingers dancing across holographic displays. At 28, she was the youngest fleet coordinator in human history, her mind a perfect synthesis of tactical genius and cold calculation. Behind her, the viewscreen showed 1,700 human warships arranged in perfect formation, every vessel humanity could muster. "Ma'am, we're receiving another transmission from the Council," reported Lieutenant Chen. "They're requesting negotiations." "Ignore it," Jiggy said, her voice emotionless. "We negotiated 17 years ago. They made their choice." Alex Morrison, captain of the flagship Remembrance, stepped beside her. His face bore scars from the Voridian attack, marks that no regenerative technology could fully erase because he'd chosen to keep them. Reminders. "The Elder is trying to contact us directly," Alex said quietly. "Personal channel. He's begging us to reconsider." Jiggy's jaw tightened. Does he think begging will undo what was done? Does he think words can resurrect the dead? 17 years earlier, humanity had made first contact. They'd come to the Galactic Council with hope, with dreams of joining the cosmic community. Earth had sent its best. Scientists, diplomats, artists. 3,000 souls aboard the Hope's Dawn, seeking friendship among the stars. The Voridian Empire had other plans. They'd classified humanity as Resource Category 7, species suitable for labor and genetic experimentation. The Council had voted on Earth's petition for protection. The vote had failed by a single margin. 27 species voted yes. 28 voted no. 8 abstained, including Elder Meraxian's people, the Chronarchs. The Hope's Dawn was boarded 3 days later. The galaxy watched through quantum feeds as 3,000 humans were processed, cataloged, and shipped to Voridian research facilities. The feeds ended when the screaming started. "They're powering weapons," Alex reported, pulling Jiggy from her memories. "The Voridian Defense Fleet is moving to intercept." "Let them come," Jiggy said. She activated the fleet-wide channel. "All ships, you know what we're here for. The galaxy called us primitives. They called us weak. They voted to let our people be taken, tortured, experimented on. Today, they learn what primitives can do." The Voridian fleet was impressive, 3,000 vessels strong, equipped with plasma cannons and quantum shields that could withstand supernovas. They'd conquered 47 species over 2 centuries. They'd never known defeat. They were about to learn. "Deploy the Widowmakers," Jiggy ordered. From the human fleet, 1,000 small pods launched. The Voridians laughed at first, such primitive kinetic weapons. Then the pods opened, and swarms of self-replicating nanobots poured forth. Not random swarms, but coordinated clouds of microscopic machines, each one programmed with 17 years of human hatred. The nanobots didn't just destroy. They dissected. They analyzed. They learned each ship's weakness in microseconds and exploited it. Voridian shields designed to deflect energy were useless against matter that could slip between atoms. The bots burrowed into hulls, into engines, into life support systems. Within 7 minutes, the Viridian fleet was disabled. Not destroyed, disabled. Drifting in space, crew alive but helpless. "Send the message," Jiggy commanded. Alex transmitted on all frequencies. "We are not here for conquest. We are here for justice. 17 years ago, 3,000 of our people screamed for mercy in your laboratories. You gave none. Today, you will understand what it means to be at another species' mercy." The Galactic Council chamber erupted in chaos. Species that had abstained from the original vote now demanded intervention. Species that had voted against humanity suddenly discovered diplomatic concerns. Elder Miraxian alone sat in silence, his ancient heart heavy with the knowledge that this moment had been inevitable. "I warned you," he transmitted to the council. "I abstained because I studied them. Do you know what makes humans unique in this galaxy? It's not their violence. Many species are violent. It's not their innovation. We have clever species. It's their memory. Humans don't forget. They don't forgive. And they teach their children to remember." Ambassador Thelkun, his composure shattered, hissed desperately. "We can negotiate. We can offer reparations." "You had 17 years to offer reparations," came Jiggy's voice, broadcast across every council frequency. "You did nothing. You thought we would forget, that our rage would cool. You were wrong." The human fleet moved past the disabled Viridian ships toward Zenthar Prime itself. Not to attack. Humanity had learned precision in its vengeance. They positioned themselves in a perfect sphere around the council world, trapping all commerce, all communications. "We're detecting quantum fluctuations," Alex reported. "Multiple species are preparing to jump fleets here." "Expected," Jiggy said calmly. "How many?" 43 species have mobilized. Combined fleet strength, 18,000 vessels. The numbers should have been terrifying. Humanity was outnumbered 10-1. But Jiggy smiled, a cold expression that never reached her eyes. "Do they really think we came unprepared for this?" 17 years. That's how long humanity had prepared. While the galaxy forgot about 3,000 tortured souls, humanity remembered. Every scientist, every engineer, every parent who'd lost a child aboard the Hope's Dawn, they all remembered. And they'd worked. Humanity had stripped its worlds of resources, converted its economy entirely to military production. They developed weapons the galaxy couldn't imagine because the galaxy, comfortable in its superiority, had stopped innovating centuries ago. The first Allied fleet to arrive was the Kelthrian Armada, a species known for their honor and martial prowess. They'd voted to protect humanity 17 years ago. Their admiral transmitted immediately. "Humans, we sympathize with your pain, but this path leads only to your extinction. Stand down." Alex responded personally. "Admiral Kelthvar, your people voted for us. We remember that too. Leave now and no harm will come to you. Stay and we'll consider you complicit in the original crime." "I cannot abandon my oath to the council," the admiral replied sadly. "Then you've made your choice." The Kelthrian ships were the galaxy's finest, bioorganic vessels that could repair themselves, adapt to attacks. They'd fought the Viridians to a standstill in the last Great War. They'd never faced anything like human ingenuity born from grief. Jiggy activated the Cascade Protocol. From each human ship, a pulse of specifically calibrated electromagnetic energy burst forth. Not harmful to the Kelthrian bioships. That would have been crude. No, the pulse was designed to trigger an evolutionary response in the living vessels, making them perceive their sister ships as threats. Within minutes, the Kelthrian Armada was fighting itself. Organic vessels locked in confused combat as their biological imperatives warred with their programming. "We studied you," Jiggy transmitted to Admiral Kelthvar. "All of you. 17 years of studying every species that voted against us, every species that abstained, every species that stood by while our people screamed. We know your weaknesses. We know your fears. We know how to hurt you." Species after species arrived. Species after species discovered that humanity had prepared specifically for them. The crystalline collective found their silicon-based ships infiltrated by viruses that corrupted their quantum consciousness. The pyrothermal swarms discovered that humanity had weaponized absolute zero, freezing their living flame. Elder Meraxian watched from Zenthar Prime, his long life having witnessed countless wars, but never anything like this. The humans weren't fighting like conquerors or even like survivors. They fought like surgeons, precise and methodical, each strike perfectly calculated to cause maximum disruption with minimum casualties. Because that was the horrifying truth he tried to warn the Council about. Humans didn't want to kill. They wanted the galaxy to suffer, to know helplessness, to feel what those 3,000 souls had felt. "Jiggy," Alex said quietly, "we've received a transmission from the Voridian Emperor himself. He's offering to surrender every researcher involved in the experiments. He's offering their entire leadership for trial." Jiggy's expression didn't change. "After 17 years, he offers us justice. How generous." "What do we do?" She was silent for a long moment, staring at the screens showing the paralyzed fleets, the desperate transmissions, the galaxy finally understanding what it had created. "Accept the surrender," she finally said. "But make it clear this is not forgiveness. This is not reconciliation. This is the minimum payment on a debt that can never be fully paid. And tell them this: humanity is withdrawing from all galactic affairs. We will develop alone. We will grow alone. And if any species, any ship, any probe enters human space without explicit permission..." She let the threat hang unfinished. Elder Meraxian, listening to the transmission, closed his 12 eyes. He'd lived for 3,000 years, and he understood now what the rest of the Council was only beginning to comprehend. They hadn't just made an enemy. They'd created something far worse, a species that would remember this day in their songs, their stories, their history for thousands of years to come. Humans didn't forgive, and no one had heeded his warning. As the human fleet began its withdrawal, taking with them the Voridian criminals for trial, the galaxy was left in stunned silence. The Galactic Council would continue. Trade would resume, but everything had changed. There was a new power in the galaxy now, not the greatest military force, not the most advanced civilization, but perhaps the most dangerous, a species that never forgot and never forgave. And in the years that followed, every species taught their young the same lesson: never wrong humanity. Because humans don't measure vengeance in days or years. They measure it in generations. And they always collect their debts.